Okay, hello everybody and welcome to the trade breakdown using the order block section, right? So we're going to be going through a full breakdown combining all of the previous order block section videos together, and we're going to go through the top down style. We're going to be spotting a valid order block using our rules. We're going to go through the refinement and we're going to go through the order block entry. And this would have been a previous trade that we would have taken, and so let's just go through it now. So this was the same example from the order block refinement video, but now we're going to take a step back and we're going to look through um the order block rules. We're going to see how exactly I spotted this order block, whether it was valid or not, and yeah, I'm just going to break down the thought process behind taking this trade. So if we begin with our bias, right, because that's the way you should start. You should always identify your bias in the market. So if we look at the previous, so we'll focus 2021 later, right? So if we just take a look at this point in time, price action after this point has been completely bullish, right? We've seen multiple impulsive movements to the upside, here, this movement here, these movements here, all of these movements over here, right? And we've seen multiple movements to the upside, right? So we are clearly in a bullish, bullish market, right? And this can be even spotted by simple market structure. We've got a low here, and that's followed by a high low, and then another high low, and then so on and so forth, right? And then exactly by our high highs, there, and there, right? So clearly we are bullish on the higher time frames, and that's on the daily. So and if we just see in the recent weeks, right, when this order block was taken, we are still clearly bullish. We are still breaking structures to the upside, and prices, overall bullish. So now we're going to be looking for bullish order block trades, right? So we're going to be looking for our buy order blocks, our demand zones. So now what I was doing was, on the 4-hour time frame, I was looking to spot, the best order block that I could, right? And the first one that caught my eye was this one over here. And the reason being was because, first of all, this order block, it's valid on the 4-hour time frame. So what we can see here is an order block which has, this is the last down move before the up move, which broke structure to the upside. So now let's just, start getting some of those things in with our rules. So here we've got the break of structure to the upside. So we've had this previous high being broken by this specific move. And then we've had our high volume, right? So over here, if I just bring out the highlighter, right? So we've got our volume, our high volume over here, right? And so that also validates the order block. So now we're just going through our rules. The order block doesn't seem to be mitigated on this time frame. However, we're going to be going on to the lower time frames to make sure. And it's pro trend, right? So this order block for now follows all of our rules, right? And so now we're going to go through the refinement process, right? Which we did go through last time, but we're going to go through it again. So what's going on here? Now, on the 2-hour time frame, what can we spot? It's just the same thing, right? Nothing really changed. So we're going to go down to the 1-hour time frame. Possible zone within this area, 30-minute. Again, something within this area. Right, so now we have spotted the zone, right? It's right here. And so now we can go down to the to the 5-minute and refine that zone again. Remember, we always set our stop loss back on the 0. Now, this order block is clearly not mitigated in any way. Price took off after the order block, right? In comparison to these other candles, price took off, and it followed major impulsive movements to the upside. And then, of course, we had these major impulsive movements to the upside as well. Overall, really bullish structure. So, I'm confident with this zone. And now I'm just going to extend it to the right. And now we're going to get our entry in. Right? And now we're going to discuss targets, which I hadn't done in the previous video, right? So if we just play price just before it hits the order block, Okay, so if we just play it back to about here, so of course we'll just get rid of this one because now we've got our refined zone, and then we'll just keep everything here, right? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna look through and find a nice target. So if I display price a little bit more, okay, so here's a good target, right? Because first of all, it's at a contesting order block, right? So there is a supply zone or a sell order block right within here, and it's a completely valid one. So I'm gonna set a target right there, just in case price, decides to react from it and eventually stop us out. I want to get out of the trade beforehand, right? So that's exactly where I'm gonna set my take profit, and then we're just gonna let the trade do its thing. We hit take profit, we managed to secure everything before price continues to move down. Entry, we didn't get stopped out. Beautiful entry, 1 to 15, 22 pip stop loss, right? And so this is exactly the process you want to be going through when trading this strategy, using the order blocks, right? High time frame directional bias. Then we want to go down to the more recent weeks, identify the structure within there, still bullish. And then you want to go into the 4-hour time frame. You want to find a valid order block, mark up the break structure, the high volume, identify whether this order block is valid or not, and then we go down through our refining process. Then we get an entry, look for targets, set our stop loss, right? And yeah, so this is our case study on GBP JPY, explaining everything that we've just used using the order block strategy. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next section.